Hello. Today what I want to do is I want to share this Unio hatchet. This has a lot of features to it and very budget friendly. I've been using it a bit on some hardwood, some seasoned ash. It was doing fairly decent, very decent for the edge on it. It comes somewhat sharp. It's sharp, but you could touch it up a little bit more. It's not shaving sharp. Some people like their axes like that and their hatchets. Myself, I've never needed one to shave. But very rugged, and I'm just going to show you some of the features of this hatchet. First, I'm going to show you the hatchet head itself. As you see, it's a full 1/4 inch. Comes down. It's a pretty decent bevel on that as well, with a hammer head. Now, this is welded into this tube socket here. As you see, it's welded in there. And I was taking this and beating this with the hammer into a big log of seasoned ash wood. And it didn't come apart. It didn't, crack or anything. So that showed me that it's going to be a rugged little hatchet. Also, I was chopping into it. It bites pretty good. Like I said, it has a pretty nice bevel on it. It is a normal bevel here on the edge, but I think I'm going to knock these corners off a little bit more just so it's more of a camp hatchet for myself. You don't need to, but with a little finer edge, I'm going to be able to hold this like this and use it for carving and such if I wanted to. So lots of options. So I have the hatchet head, and then I have this here as well. And they just unscrew. They also come with this camo cloth tape that you can put where your preference is. It's got a knife on there, bottle cap opener. This here you could use as a fish hook remover, a saw on the back. And these knives are fairly decent. If you put a little bit of a different profile on that as well, it would be a better carver, which I may do. But this here just screws in and out. Like this here. Goes on the inside. And I can turn this around like this and put it in as well. So it has that feature. And if I go down to the next one, on the back side, we have a glass breaker and a compass. And this compass is right on, actually. So I've been beating with it. I thought it may throw the compass off, but it hasn't. And then lastly, it has a ferro rod and whistle. Now if I unscrew this portion, as you see, they're hollow as well. They have the inner threads. This one here, that's my ferro rod. And on the other side is my whistle. These work really well. Very high pitched. It'd be a nice signal whistle, actually. So that is the different gadgets it has in this hatchet. Also, what makes this unique is you can grab this blade like this and use this for fine carving. You can only add one tube to it. You have a small hatchet, or you can add the base as well, and you have just a little bit longer, like this here. With all of them, the other section as well, you have close to 17 inches, and the weight is fairly decent. You can grab it by 2 hands if you wanted to and swing with all sections put together. And I'm rather impressed with this thus far. I like the options of being able to make it different lengths to use in different situations. It also comes with this MOLLE case for it, and it has each different compartments for the tubes, and also gives you a sheath for your hatchet head. All just fits in this nice little case, and I think that's a very cool feature. But this is also great for an ATV, a car and such. It's all compact. You can just toss it in a back of an ATV or in the trunk of a vehicle. With these pipe or tube type pieces of gear, they're screwed together, so sometimes if you hit the wrong way, they'll twist and come loose. All you do is just twist it back tight and keep going. These are compact and they make good gear, but that is one of the natures of the gear, is that if you hit just the right way, they will come loose a bit. Tighten it back up and keep going. So let's go and do some testing with this and do some chopping. This one here is a nice piece of seasoned hardwood. It's dead, but you can hear it. It's nice and solid. So this here is going to be a great test for this hatchet, and it being birch as well, a hardwood. We'll see how this works. Then what I'm going to do is just sharpen this a little bit with a flat file, and then I'm going to try to see if it cuts any better or not. This here has a really good edge on it now. It has this normal style hatchet edge, but I like it just a little finer so I can use it for carving as well if I want to. As you've seen, this is working very decent as is. Didn't loosen up at all. And now I'm going to modify this just because I want to. You don't have to. Just going to take the edges off, make this little finer profile, and then that's going to allow it to cut into the wood a little better. But does it need it? Not for most jobs. That's my own preference. Spent about 2 minutes on this one side, and I'll show you the difference right there compared to there. What that allowed is this here is more of a rounded edge compared to this little edge right here. So I'm going to do that to this side, and then I'm ready to chop again. We'll see the difference. Using a flat file and taking off those edges, as you've seen, it goes into the wood a lot nicer. That's a preference for me, but as a hatchet, this here is a compact and very decent hatchet for around camp. And like I said, throw into an ATV you come across, there's a log across the path or something, you need it out of the way, trimming bushes and such to get through an area and so on. This here could come handy. Now, as for the ferro rod, we're going to take that out. Using the knife here, I'm going to use this back side right here. That's on a 90. Take your ferro rod. Also has a handle. Works very good. So I can start fire with it. I have a decent saw on the back as well. These type of saws are only for making little notches and so on. And same thing as the knife. You can do a lot with this knife, cutting cordage and so on, and even carving. But it's basically a little backup saw and knife if need be. That's a Unio hatchet, and I'll leave a link down below where you can check it out, check out the prices and stats and so on. But I wanted to test it to see how it's working. The shovel, I'll leave a link down below. It's from the same company. I'm really liking that. I've had a few of my friends testing the shovel as well, and they're very satisfied with it and how it works. A shovel is meant to dig a hole. It does that, and it does more. This here is meant to chop. It does that, and it does more. Thanks for watching. Take care. All the best.